Hey, what's up, YouTube? Marty from Team Peace and Pass. We're doing Market Watch. We haven't done one since May. Obviously, MRC Alter came out, then Worlds happened. I wanted to kind of wait till Distorted Reflections came out, and a couple weeks went by, so that way we can kind of see where the cards actually settled at. But first, let's talk about the giveaway that we kind of started with with everything. So the goal was 250 subscribers. Unfortunately, we fell short. We got to 139 or 129. Really appreciative of those who helped make that grow to get us to where we are now. We are going to plan to do other giveaways though. We'll make something to where we can give a little bit more of a timeline. Really try to make that goal and give stuff away. But let's divulge into Market Watch. So with Distorted Reflections, you have all your CSRs. The big top leaderboard is the Looking Glass with the Ultra Rare. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth here as we get to our Divine Relic section. Liminal Guide is sitting at about $50. It's the Ryle package. Fire is definitely going to be one of the biggest competitors of this, and therefore we'll definitely see some drawing and things like that. Excalibur Reflected Edge sitting at about $30. Definitely see what people are cooking to make copies of with that. Cheshire Cat, one of the more up there ultra rares as well. You do have some other things like Radiant Vega, Malice, and some of the other ones that fall a little bit lower after that. Even Ignis Deuce is sitting at about $10. Your super rares, Weaving Mana Stream and Regal Inquisition has actually kind of jumped up. It's sitting at about $18. It was about $12 to $13. Some people are really seeing the value of side decking this, especially with fire matchups being the big thing, getting rid of people's fireballs, things like that. Weaving Mana Stream, going back to that, your Diana Choice Super Rare, Banishing, Loading, Rinse and Repeat. You do have your Ryle Abyss package to tie with the Liminal Guide. That's definitely the biggest thing out of this set to provide more firepower with everything there. Fluffy Shopkeep, one of the other rares that is up there. This is really good with Onslaught, banishing your swords and everything. It's also really good with Merlin, getting rid of your Prismatic Edge and the Deer to be able to bring those back anyways from your spells and things like that. Spirel, Stellarian, March Hare, all sitting between the $4 to $7 range, and then you have your Snow Queen on the first page. Going over to the second page, you have a few different things, your Coops, Vantage, and then some of your other rares and stuff like that. Really surprised to see this with Expeditious Opening being only about a $5 card. We'll definitely see what people will do at Boston. Maybe this will jump up a little bit in price. I'm excited to see what people kind of cook up with this card for sure. With Ryle Package being the big thing, we need to talk about Ghost of Pendragon. Obviously, Merlin and Lorraine are the big hypes. The Crux package is being strong, and therefore it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So you got 66 on the Alter options. If you want First Edition or the Preludes, you're going to be paying about $140 to $150 a piece. Hopefully you've held on to your Pendragons long enough. Mercurial Heart, since the Alter came out, it did cool down some of those prices. We're going to go through that. But Gloamspire Mantle, about $400 for your CSR. Your leaderboard is going to be Shadowclaw at $34. Your Fragmented's kind of cooled down between the $20 to $30 price range. But some of your other reprints, your Prima Materia, your Final Stroke, Vampiric, Slime, those kind of cards have really kind of cooled down. Even Atmos at a $5 card. Volda and Hector, both of those guys are the super rares that came brand new to Alter. So you can kind of see that, $3 for the Hector, $5 for the Volda. Pretty cheap if you're trying to collect a master set there for sure. Carter out is going to be your Seal Fire deck is mostly what people are playing this in. He's 60 for one of them, a couple at 65, and then there's only foils on there. So hopefully you've had your Carters, like I've said, for the previous market watches. We'll definitely see if Seal makes a top at Boston. Censor Restful Peace, being the Ryle counter. If you're not playing Ryle, you're playing this card. It's a mandatory in the material deck. Some people are actually playing like Quicksilver Grail with the Censor if you are on Ryle, so you kind of get your few draws off, pitch off your couple Liminal Guides or your floatings, and then you Grail in your Censor so your opponent can't do it. That's definitely something interesting to see. We'll definitely see if that gets played or side decked in Boston to kind of counter all that meta and slow other players down who are playing the same thing. You have these guys at $10. It's actually been kind of bought out mostly, so you can pick up a $10 copy. If you want foils, you're going to be spending about $33 on those guys. Lorraine Onsole. Obviously, Onsole has kind of crept up from the $7 range, between $13 to $15 a piece. So hopefully you guys picked up your Onsole copies early on, because it's definitely the deck that you need to be on the lookout for. Going over the Divine Relics, Quicksilver Grail, sitting at about $89 for one and $99 for the other. After that, it's $150. So if you need your copy, you might want to grab one of those two very fast. We'll definitely see what happens there. Grand Crusader's Ring, you're sitting at about $65 and $83. It being the staple of the regalias is definitely the one thing to consider with this. But now we have something else with the Looking Glass. This is going to be the one that, your Merlin players, your Lorraine players, because you can drag and target this and shuffle it back to draw two. A lot of decks are going to definitely consider playing this card just because you have that early interaction of putting it on the board, and then you have various distortion cards in your material deck as well as your main deck that you can consider playing. One of those is going to be $76 for that guy right there. Looking at the few other ones, Mercurial Heart, $14 to $18 on that one. Imperial Seal sitting at about $40 to $45. Maybe somebody's cooking up with that. It's still sitting there pretty high. This was very hard to open in Mortal Ambition, so if you got one, you were very lucky. So that's also why the price is kind of still sitting there. Temporal Spectrometer, $10 to $15. $15 for the alternate with the additional artwork. And then the very last card to talk about is Art of War. This is arguably the fourth Divine Relic. You can side it, obviously, if you're playing against aggro matchups, slow them down, things like that. I played in Ice-Eye Decadent Tristan against allies, being able to Ensnaring Fumes and make them not be able to attack and things like that. This one's sitting at about $40 for 3 of the copies. After that, it jumps to $50, so if you do need one, you might want to snag one of those 3 copies up pretty quick. But that's going to do it, guys. I'm really thankful for everything. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, peace.